I'm feeling very springy today, which is appropriate because the Sephora spring sale is upon us. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about all of my favorite products you can get at Sephora, from fragrance to body care, hair care, skincare, makeup, all of the things. If you're a regular viewer, then none of these products are going to be surprising to you. So I apologize if this is repetitive, but I hope that by continuing to talk about the same products, you understand that I'm so passionate about them. So to make this video a little less repetitive, instead of focusing on the ingredients and the product description and everything, you can pretty much get that in a video I'll link below in my 2021 skincare and makeup favorites. Instead, I'm just gonna be talking about my personal experience with each product rather than like the claims and all of that. I originally wasn't gonna film this video because I thought it would just be far too repetitive for you guys, but InBeauty reached out and asked if I wanted to film a Sephora recommendations video as part of our ongoing partnership together. So thanks InBeauty for all of your support and for the sponsorship. And now let's get into it. My favorite from InBeauty, without a doubt, is the face glaze. This is not my first, not my second, but my third tube of the face glaze. I'm wearing it all over my face today, underneath my sunscreen. I love that they went from the tub packaging into the tube because I find that I have more control over the application. It feels like a rich, not super rich, it's still thin because it's like a primer, but it feels so nourishing on the skin that it feels like it would be a rich cream. And really, you're just left with this gorgeous, soft, focused glow. And it's a true multifunctional product for me. That's why I've been through so many of these. I've purchased them myself, and they have ceramides, so they help with barrier repair. They have hyaluronic acid, so they have great skincare ingredients, but also they're that skincare makeup hybrid, which is that intersection that I love. I can mix this in with my moisturizer if I want to add a little bit more nourishment and a little bit of a glow. I can use it like a primer underneath makeup on top of sunscreen so that I have a little bit more of an evened out, airbrushed glow to my skin. I can use it on top of moisturizer or underneath sunscreen if I want to do it that way. I can use this as a highlighter on the tops of my cheekbones for a very, very natural effect. Or one of my favorite ways to use it is actually all over my collarbones, my shoulders, and my legs. You can't see any shimmer. It just looks like you have gorgeous, healthy skin that looks expensive. And so honestly, I wish they made like a huge pump of this stuff so I could use it as a body lotion, because it sets down, but it's so moisturizing. It feels really nourishing. Anytime my skin's sensitized, this will never ever bother my skin. It is a tried and true favorite, and that's why it's my #1 pick from InBeauty. My second favorite is the product that had me fall in love with the brand. Their lip glazes are just such a classic for me. This was actually the first one that I bought, my first InBeauty purchase, and I'm almost halfway through. I don't know if you can see that. This is their candy apple lip glaze. It's just the most perfect sheer red, and what I love about it, you've got that amazing super chunky fuzzy applicator. It feels so nice and nourishing on the lips. The scents are to die for. They all have this really nostalgic, fun, delicious scent, to the point where you want to eat all of them. Like, it's hard not to lick your lips. Candy apple is one of my favorites because of the sheer red color. If you want to see all of the InBeauty lip glazes applied on my lips, I will link a video where I applied all of them. But candy apple was my first purchase, and I love this one. These are the two that are available on Sephora. #3, Frosé, smells like strawberry lemonade, and it's a sheer light pink, but it has this frostiness to it that is so fun. I love wearing this anytime I'm wearing a pink blush, anytime I'm wearing some kind of like lilac or pastel kind of eyeshadow. Something about this is nostalgic and fun and youthful without looking like campy to me. Normally I don't like a frosty lip, but I love this one. I reach for it all the time, and I think my second fave would have to be the lip glazes. It was hard to narrow down my third favorite, but I have to go with the 10+10 moisturizer because it's my perfect daytime moisturizer, both in texture and formula. So for me during the daytime, I need to wear products that set down on my skin. I don't like really glowy sunscreens because they always end up making me look oily on camera or throughout the day. I don't like moisturizers during the daytime that are really dewy because I just end up looking like I have wet skin, and I hate that. So this is the kind of texture that's pretty rich when you first apply it, but it sets down, and that's what's important to me in a daytime moisturizer. And then in terms of the formula, it's fragrance-free, essential oil-free, and it has the 3 things that I want in the daytime. I want antioxidant protection, so it has vitamin C. I believe that it's a derivative, so it's non-irritating, never stings my face, but it also has peptides, which are anti-aging, and it has ceramides, ceramides are my skin's #1 favorite ingredient. Really great for barrier repair, and I struggle from sensitivity, so that's really important to me. Previously, I had been using the Allies of Skin Firming peptide treatment, which also had brighteners, peptides, ceramides, etc. But I hated the packaging. It was stinging my face a lot, and it's like $100, over $100. This is like the same thing for me in the function and with a better texture and a better price. I'm feeling compelled to talk about fragrance right now because I only have 3 picks. I got this as a little Sephora point perk, but I would definitely purchase one of the travel sizes from Tom Ford because they sell it on the website. It's their perfume in Soleil Blanc. This perfume has been described by so many people I know as like rich auntie vibes. It basically smells like very expensive sunscreen, and I just love it. When I wear this, John is like, ooh, smells like vacation. It just makes you feel good. It makes you feel like there's warm weather. You close your eyes with Soleil Blanc and you're like, I've got a glass of really expensive champagne. I have on my big Celine sunglasses and I'm looking fucking fire. Like, that's what this evokes for me. And so I have a lot of fragrances. I don't wear fragrance on a daily basis, so I basically never finish any. But if I did, I would definitely purchase a travel size of this because I don't like big bottles of fragrance. I prefer things that I can just throw in my purse. I like that they make a travel size. So Soleil Blanc is wonderful, but a much more affordable option that evokes the same kind of scent memory for me is the Maison Margiela Replica Beach Walk fragrance. That was John's dad in the background. He's gardening. Anyways, Beach Walk might even be my favorite over Soleil Blanc. It still smells like expensive sunscreen, but instead of just being like a primary scent experience of expensive sunscreen, there's also some coconut in here. One thing to note is I do find anything that's kind of beachy in scent is not very long lasting. I don't mind that. I get headaches very easily from fragrances. I would much rather have to reapply than have to be super, super careful about overdoing it. So personally, I don't mind it. I love that the brand offers all of their fragrances as travel sizes. I believe all of them, or at least the ones on Sephora. And these are only $30. This is basically my perfect fragrance size because I like to own a lot of perfumes, but I don't like to spend a lot of money on them. So for me, Beach Walk is just a wonderful, wonderful option, especially going into spring and summer. A close second for me from Replica is Bubble Bath. It's the kind of scent I have to be in the mood for. It is a very cozy scent and it smells like soap, roses, and coconut. It's really nice. It's clean, it's fresh, it's a little rosy, soapy, coconutty. It's really, really wonderful, and I think this one's underrated. I only had 3 perfume options because the rest of my favorites are from Le Labo, Diptyque, and DS and Durga, which sadly aren't sold at Sephora, but hopefully in the future. So we're just gonna move on to body care, my #1 deodorant from Sephora. Hands down, it's a new launch from Necessaire. Let's see, I'm almost halfway through this bottle. I don't want to live without this. It's incredible. So it has a blend of acids. I think it's something like 5% AHA. I'm not entirely sure. But the point is that what acids can do under your arms, not only do they exfoliate a little bit, but they kill bacteria. And killing bacteria kills odor. I have put this baby through some stress tests. I'm sure you guys know that when you are stress sweating, it smells different than when you're just like hot or just working out or something. And I tested this through an extremely stressful call at work and it was wonderful. This is the eucalyptus scent. I think the only thing is I would love if they made this in the bergamot scent because that's my favorite from Necessaire. But the eucalyptus is nice. It's fresh, but it's more of an earthy eucalyptus than like refreshing, like minty eucalyptus. You know what I mean? It's very earthy. But because of that, it is more of a unisex fragrance. And it's a gel, so it doesn't leave any like white stains on your shirts or anything like that. And yeah, blown away, blown away. I only have 2 other body products. This is a new one for me. It's the Josie Moran Argan Apothecary Intensive Daily Repair Body Butter. So this is an eczema relief formula with argan oil and colloidal oatmeal. So it's very rich, very calming, and fragrance free. This jar of body butter was almost full last week because I've been alternating between so many different lotions. I gave it to John. I said, John, you are struggling having to get all of your body lotion out of this like Eucerin pump. And he was like, yeah, I just don't like pumps. I don't like tubes that I have to squeeze on my body. And I was like, John, why don't you just try using one of my jar body butters? And it'll be a lot easier for you to get more product out and spread it all over your body. And he was like, I don't know about that. And then he tried it, and in a week, it's gone. It's gone. If John falls in love with something, it is game over. That's a 10 out of 10. It is very, very rich, and this is just so fantastically nourishing. The fact that it's made for eczema is really great, and it feels rich, but it doesn't feel greasy or heavy. I really just think Josie Moran makes the best body products. If you like a little bit more of a scent experience though, I also really love the classic whipped argan oil. This is in vanilla bean. Also, John used this one and it's like almost gone, so I'm gonna be repurchasing both for the Sephora sale. It is a barely there scent. When I first got it, I actually had to check to make sure this wasn't unscented because I was like, where's the vanilla? But it's there. It's like, it's just barely there. It just smells like something ever so slightly like creamy. It's not very sweet. This is similar in terms of a body butter. It's just lighter in texture. You know, you can see it's like a little bit thinner than the eczema relief one. So I think this will be like my spring and summer go-to, where the Apothecary intensive one is better for me for fall and winter. Moving on to hair care. These 2 products have been blowing my mind in a way I never thought possible. I've got the Living Proof Full Shampoo and Full Conditioner. I've never been a hair person, let alone a shampoo or conditioner person. I kind of just used whatever I had. I always use a volume shampoo and just a little bit of conditioner on the ends, and I just never really thought that I needed to think about shampoo or that I could get any kind of results from shampoo. But Living Proof actually is doing some sponsored content with me. They asked me to show before and after results using these products, and I had to film myself like every single day for a week, not using any other products, showing the picture with the exact same control, meaning no products, just shampoo, conditioner, and then blowing my hair out. And I'll try to remember to insert some pictures here. You can see the before and after of my hair is just, the results speak for themselves. My hair has never looked so shiny and bouncy. I just didn't think that I could get those kinds of results from a shampoo. Another one from Living Proof I cannot get enough of is the Full Dry Volume and Texture Spray. This is like a reformulation of their old texture spray. They reduced the scent and they made it a little bit more like soft and fluffy. I believe this also has heat protectant qualities, though I'm not sure. But either way, I just love how it makes my hair feel. It's a texture spray, but it doesn't make my hair feel gritty or crunchy like some others do. So this is a really great one. I do think it's still a little bit too scented for my preferences. I prefer something a little bit less scented, but in terms of the formula and given the fact that it is less fragrance than the last version, I still absolutely love using this, and it's one of my favorite products. I don't have it with me because I literally have 4 bottles of the Living Proof texture spray to go through. But if you're on a budget, the Verb like beach spray, or it used to be called the beach spray, now it's in an orange can and it's called their volume or texture spray or whatever. I'll link it in the description box below. That's only $18 and it's such a good texture spray. I don't hear anyone talking about Verb, but their products are so good. So that texture spray is the most subtly fragranced one I've ever smelled. It's just like a soft beachy scent. So that's a more affordable option if you're interested in a texture spray. Then also from the brand, I've been loving this Ghost Hairspray. It gives me the hold that I want without being crunchy, without making my hair feel hard. I barely notice any scent. It like disappears really quickly. Their products are amazing and they're affordable. It's awesome. Lastly, I've always known Moroccan oil for their oil, which I love. I have the like lightweight version. I used it on my hair today, just on the ends. I love it, but it's not like a can't live without product, and I'm really just focusing on my like 10 out of 10s in this video. But wow, their dry shampoo for light tones really took me by surprise. I'll show you a little bit actually. It comes out in a purple tint, but you can't really see it. And I just do a light little spritz. It has that amazing, pretty light Moroccan oil fragrance. I love that scent personally. And it's really just that kind of dry shampoo that's not super obvious. Like, it doesn't make my hairline look white or gray like a lot of others do. It's mattifying too, so it doesn't make my hair look shiny. It's a really, really nice dry shampoo. They also have one for darker hair, and they have mini sizes, which I love, and I take them with me anytime I travel. Waterloo break. I don't have any new skincare products to talk about, only tried and true favorites that I have repurchased several times. And the first is the Wander Beauty Baggage Claim eye masks. I don't remember a time when I didn't have these. Like, I repurchase these so often. They're just one of my all-time favorite products. They make an incredible gift. They're the only disposable under eye patch I've tried that doesn't irritate my eyes. It's so thin. It's like, it feels like a little cloth with tinfoil, not tinfoil, but some kind of like flexible soft foil over it. So it adheres to your eyes and it just stays there. Really comfortable. They're so thin you barely feel them. They're not like those thicker gel patches that slide around. So hydrating and wonderfully soothing, just like these so much. While I have a lot of masks from Sephora that I can recommend, I'm really trying to focus this video only on products that I have repurchased, products that I feel super confident about. And that one is the Youth to the People Super Clay Purify and Clear Power Mask with niacinamide, kombucha, and BHA. This puts all other clay masks to shame. And you know, Youth to the People is an interesting one for me because their products are actually weirdly expensive, even though their formulas seem to me to be relatively simple. But every time I try another Youth to the People product, I'm pretty blown away by it. And this is just my favorite. You get that kind of purifying effect from the clay, but it never feels uncomfortable. It doesn't sting, it doesn't hurt. It is the kind of mask where you see before and after results in one use. You go into it and your skin looks like inflamed and it's breaking out and it's kind of angry. You wear this and when you rinse it off, there's no other way of describing it, but your skin looks better. And I just think Youth to the People nailed this one. I also really like their kind of exfoliating enzyme mask. That's a good one, but I don't use a lot of like physical scrubs. This I find to be more gentle and more effective. Man, it's just amazing. It's fantastic. If you have breakouts, but you also have sensitive skin, my favorite toner you can get at Sephora is the Lineage Cream Skin Toner. This is like a dry skin essential. It's basically a liquid moisturizer. It's just another layer of like wonderfully velvety, milky moisture on my skin, and I just love it. I have gone through, God, I don't know, seven of these maybe. I never want to live without it. It is one of my all-time favorite products. It just feels so soothing and hydrating and moisturizing. Oh, and all of the skincare products are fragrance-free and essential oil-free unless I state otherwise. So I've already talked about my favorite daytime moisturizer, which is the InBeauty 10+10. Let's talk about my 3 favorite nighttime moisturizers. First is the Pharmacy Honey Halo Cream. This is their travel size container, which I have because I ran out of the regular size, and for the Sephora sale, I'm gonna pick up their jumbo size, which I think is around $68. It frustrates me how expensive it is because it feels like such a simple formula. Truly though, I don't wanna live without this one. This is like a must-have for the rest of my life. If they discontinue it, I will buy as much as they have left in their stock. It's that good. It's just like a rich butter, like a face butter. And it smells like the most delicious honey you've ever smelled in your life. Barely there. It's just like a naturally occurring honey scent, I think, that has a lot of ceramides in it. Like I said before, ceramides are my skin's favorite ingredient because I'm always so sensitive, and ceramides really help with that. It is just so soothing. And what I like about it is that it's not dewy, so I can use it during the daytime too if my skin's particularly dry. I can use it under makeup and it looks beautiful. beautiful. So I pretty much just bring this when I travel, and along with one other, and then I'm good to go because it's so like multifunctional for me. My second favorite nighttime moisturizer is the Tarte Baba Balm. I've talked about this for years. I recently went a few months without this because I have so many moisturizers I'm working through right now, and I really missed having this at night. The Pharmacy is more of like a soothing ceramide moisture cream, whereas this is more of like a hydrating cream for me. I actually had John try it one night and he fell so deeply in love with it. He bought 3 bottles of the full size and 3 bottles of their mini size. And now that's his only moisturizer that he uses. It's fragrance free, non-irritating. It's just a wonderful, wonderful moisturizer that is underrated and it really deserves more love. But a multifunctional moisturizing product I truly can't live without is the Tatcha Serum and Cream Treatment. You guys know I had debated purchasing this for a really long time, but after hearing my friend Dev, who's Dev's Day on Instagram, after hearing her rave about this, I finally picked it up and I'm almost out, so I'm gonna have to buy it during the Sephora sale. It's unlike anything I've ever tried. It's like a hydrating, soothing serum, an occlusive moisturizer, and a face balm all in one. It feels thinner than the others to me, like you take some out and it just glides right on your hand. When I wear this, I wake up the next day and I look better. It still feels the same way on my face when I wake up as when I applied it. That's how like gorgeously occlusive it is. It just feels like freshly applied skincare. Sometimes I'll use it on top of my other moisturizers just to like kind of seal everything in. It's $88, so it's expensive, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. I would pay $98, $108, $118 for this. Yeah, this is a like cannot live without product. Just 2 more skincare items before we move on to the makeup. I love the Shawnee Darden Intensive Eye Renewal Cream. Most of the time I feel like an eye cream is not super necessary because you can just use your moisturizer under your eyes, but I feel like this one's special. It really is rich and occlusive. It has a wonderful ingredient list for anti-aging benefits, and I like it because of the way it performs. Never makes my makeup pill. It looks great under makeup, and I feel it still on my under eyes in the morning when I wake up, and that's a really big sign for me that a product is doing what I want it to do. Now that I've discovered some balm products like the Glacé After Balm, the Tatcha Serum and Cream Treatment, I use those under my eyes, and honestly I can get peptides from my moisturizers, so this isn't like a 100% necessary step in my routine, but I really enjoy having it. The only sunscreen I buy from Sephora is my Paula's Choice Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense. I love this. It has a tint to it that is my exact skin color. I find that most of the time any tinted sunscreens are far too dark and orange for my personal complexion. So this is light enough, and I'll show you what the tint looks like. What's great about this beyond the tint that, yeah, you can't even see it, it's my exact skin color. But what's great about it beyond the tint is that it's super, super thin and lightweight. Like it just feels like a barely there texture. It almost feels like it would be a chemical sunscreen because it's so lightweight. But it's 13% zinc, it has iron oxides, which help protect from sun damage. It's got some skin soothers, and most importantly for me, it sets down to a satin finish. So for me, if I'm on camera, generally I'm wearing the sunscreen. All the other ones I have are just too glowy on camera, and I end up looking super, super shiny throughout my T-zone. So if I need to do my makeup during the daytime and then go out, this is what I'll wear because it's just so incredibly lightweight. It really just makes my skin look beautiful. My only complaint about this is if my skin is already sensitized, sometimes this can sting my face or feel like a little too matte. So I don't wear it when my skin is going through some type of sensitivity, but if I'm having a normal skin day, then this is my go-to. Now we all know that I don't have a foundation or an under eye concealer from Sephora because I just use my Fit Glow products. They're my favorites and I don't really want to own anything else. But for blemishes, I don't think anything beats the Makeup Forever Full Cover Concealer. I've been using this for well over 10 years. Could not tell you how many bottles I've gone through. This is a matte finish. You just do a tiny little dot and it's waterproof. So what's fantastic about this on blemishes is this does not go anywhere. It is the best concealer for blemishes because it is so full coverage. You just need a tiny little dot, tap it in with your finger, and then it'll set down, it'll be waterproof, and it won't budge until you take it off. That is exactly what I want in a blemish concealer. Obviously, I have a lot of blushes, and I'm very excited about them. The one that I'm wearing today, which is one of my all-time favorite formulas, is the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur. in Blurred Buff. I bought this because of the Garso twins. They had raved about this color and it looked beautiful on them and I was like, yes, absolutely. It's my perfect cream powder hybrid that you know I love, and it has the ease of use of a powder, so I just take a brush, swirl it around, tap it on my face, boom, that's it, I'm done. But it has the emollients and the skin-like quality of a cream. Since I have quite a few blushes, I'll start swatching them. So Blurred Buff, I'll do a close-up at the end of all the swatches so I'm not like constantly zooming in. Blurred Buff is just a really nice warm bronze shade. And I forgot to bring down a blush brush, but I applied my makeup quite a few hours ago, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Normally I wouldn't use a bronzer brush because this is not very, this is a very dense brush. But the thing with a cream powder hybrid is you have a lot of control. It doesn't pick up a ton of product because you have that emollient. So this is what it looks like after a few hours, and then this is what it looks like freshly applied. So it doesn't look dry like a powder, you kind of just get a radiance from it that doesn't look like shimmer at all on the skin. However, I did go to Sephora over the weekend and I swatched, I think like Pink Sky, and that one looked glittery, but Mauve Sunrise and Blurred Buff are not. I had this point perk from Sephora a while back. This is the shade Mauve Sunrise. To me, it's not very mauve. That to me is a warm pink. Even though I don't know much about color theory, it doesn't look mauve to me. Doesn't matter. I love it. It's beautiful. It's just a wonderful pink that warms up the skin, makes me look nice and fresh and youthful, and that formula, again, is just a 10 out of 10. This next one I am so fucking happy about because Bare Minerals heard my pleas and they brought back the bronzer. They brought back Kiss of Rose, Kiss of Copper, and Kiss of Pink. This is Kiss of Rose. It's the darkest and it's my favorite. It's very, very pigmented, but if you saw my dupes video, you know that this is my dupe for the OG MAC Warm Soul blush. That is just one swipe of Kiss of Rose. It is very, very pigmented. It has a gold sheen throughout it. The bounce and blurs have a radiance to them, and then the bronzers have a little bit more shimmer, but it doesn't look glittery on the face. It just looks like you're already wearing like a powder highlighter. And when you have a light hand with this, it is the most perfect sunburnt shade I could ever imagine. For cream blush, I'm really loving the Wander Beauty Multi-Stick. It's their Blush in Illuminator. This is in Strawberry Fields. It is just like the most delicious pinky berry shade. That color is just like me in a nutshell in terms of winter cheeks. It's the most perfect mixture of pink, red, and berry. I love it. The formula is thin and it's pigmented. To me, it's kind of like a cross between the Photosurgeon Skin Sparks and more of like a cream blush balm, but it's not like a sticky, tacky, dewy formula. I don't like those kinds of blushes. It really just sets down on the skin and has a really nice glow. Also comes with an illuminator called Nude Glow. It's very, very sheer, so it's the same illuminator on each shade, and it's just like a rosy kind of tan champagne color, but you can barely see it. Out of all of the Wander Beauty blush and illuminators they sent me, that's definitely my favorite, although I also really like Sienna Sunset. Another favorite blush from Sephora, the Say Do blushes. If you haven't seen my last video, I applied the new shades Spicy and Chili, one on each cheek, and I swatched all 4 of the ones that I have. I decluttered Peachy and Rosy because they were just too orange on my skin, but these are amazing. Here are the 4 shades that I have swatched. This is Poppy, Spicy, Dreamy, and Chili. These 2 are very similar. I actually prefer Dreamy because it's just such a gorgeous flush of like a reddish pinkish berry, very similar to Strawberry Fields from Wander Beauty. And all of these have a very, very dewy finish. I love that Spicy is not super, super orange. It's actually more just like a warm brown, which is really refreshing to see. I feel like a lot of brown blushes really lean heavily orange. It's nice to see one that is still a warm brown, but more neutral than usual ones. Poppy is also so stunning for the summertime. What I like about the Say Do blushes is the application experience. They come with this like big applicator, much like the In Beauty lip glazes. I just love that kind of applicator. They have the kind of formula where you can apply it directly on your cheeks and blend it out. It won't disturb your foundation or concealer. So if you want a deeper dive into the Say Do blush formula, I'll leave that video linked in the description box below that you can check out. But if you love a dewy cheek with a kind of like serum-like texture that's not sticky or oily, then I think the Dew blushes are such a fun one. Another product I love from Saie actually is their cream bronzer. It's the Sun Melt bronzer, and I have the shade Light Bronze. This is still a little bit too deep for me at this point. It is quite an orange bronze, so I really hope that Saie can expand the shade range. This is just gonna be too dark for some people. It's already a little bit too dark for me, but I'll just show you really quickly. I just tap a tiny bit. It's really wonderful, and I love this brush that they also released with this bronzer. It is so soft, and it blends the bronzer perfectly. I don't like to go in with the brush because then you have a pretty large, you can't even see that. You have a pretty large circumference and then you can just get bronzer everywhere. So I like to apply the bronzer with my fingers and then softly blend out with the brush. And I find that it does a really good job. And you can see it's not too dark when I'm careful, but if I over apply, then suddenly like my face looks 3 shades darker than my neck. So I really hope that Saie expands their shade range. I would love a slightly cooler, slightly lighter version. For highlighter, I can't live without my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter in the shade 3. This is a mini size, and I'm wearing it on my face today. I have it a little bit on my nose and my Cupid's bow, and ultimately just the tops of my cheekbones. I just find that it's the most flattering, soft focus glow. It still has that highlighter effect, so it's not super subtle like the In Beauty Face Glaze. That's more of like a soft focus kind of primer look. This to me is like really more of a highlighter effect on the skin. I've used it in so many videos, so I'm not gonna swatch it, but it's my perfect highlighter. It's by far my favorite. It's just a cream, and you have this cute little doe foot applicator, pop it on, blend it out in 2 seconds with my finger, a brush, or a sponge. It's so easy to work with, and it never looks bad. It never looks too highlightery. It's not glittery. It's skin-like, and most importantly to me, it sets down, so there's no tacky finish. My hair doesn't like stick to my face or anything like that. So this, man, the hype is real. My favorite eyelash curler from Sephora is the Shiseido eyelash curler. Real quick, just because it holds a curl really well, and the curve on it is a little flatter, so I can get all my lashes in, so that's a favorite. Surprisingly, I only have 2 eyeshadows from Sephora that I like. All my other favorites, my one and done eyeshadows, my singles, my palettes, crayons are all from brands that you can't get on Sephora. But what you can get are the Rare Beauty liquid eyeshadows. These are one of the best liquid eyeshadows I've ever tried. I bought the shades Nearly Neutral and Nearly Rose. Rose obviously is very much like a rose mauve shade, and it looks that way in the eyes. Nearly Neutral is not neutral. It's very much a warm brown, and you get pretty decent time to blend these. You know, those were sitting there for like a solid 30 seconds and I can still blend them. Together, obviously, this looks quite rosy, but then you feel it starts setting and setting and setting, and it's just the perfect formula. You get a nice amount of time to work with them and blend them on the eyes, and then they set down, and then they set down and they don't budge. As for a cream that doesn't totally set and is definitely more of a classic cream, my Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. I've owned so many of these throughout the years, and I've decluttered quite a few of them, but I've kept 4 that are my absolute favorites. So these 4 Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize shades are basically like my eyeshadow preferences in a nutshell, with the exception of like a matte warm brown here. But we have Pillow Talk, which is this gorgeous kind of like brownie rose on the eyes. Star Gold, which is an orangey copper. The shade I have is called Betty right here, but I think now it's called Amber Gold. And then my most used, mine says Marie Antoinette, but it's now named Oyster Pearl. Amber Gold right here is that perfect warm bronze. Oyster Pearl is just this like amorphous shade. Sometimes, you know, compared to the others, it looks quite cool toned, kind of like Tom Ford Platinum, but it actually on the eyes looks different in different angles and different lights. Sometimes it has this kind of gray look. Sometimes it looks more gold, bronze. It's really just transformative on the eyes. And so these are just some of my favorite formulas. They do crease, and they do fade. So when I would wear them to the office, 5 hours in, I'd start noticing some creasing. By the end of the day, they're quite faded. If it fades nicely, then I don't mind that kind of product. You know, like if it just looks like it kind of you know, was worn, then I'm cool with it. But if it like creases and there's like fallout and shit's like smudging, I don't like that kind of look. These are not something I would reach for if you want like a very long wear, high performing product. But if you just love that kind of like wet look shine in the eyes and an easy to blend moussey cream formula, then I love these. My favorite lip liner from Sephora is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk. Such a classic. This is just a tiny little nubbin. I've repurchased it many times, and it is a beautiful, I would say mauve rose with a little bit of brown, but it is quite rosy. I just took my lip gloss off so I can apply some more for you. I haven't used this a lot on camera recently, and I need to. What I like about the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat formula is it's quite waxy, but it still can glide on quite well. It's not like a dry pencil. I hate that. It is waxy, so you can overline your lips and then it sets down and it lasts a really long time. So I always overdo my Cupid's bow because that's my area that I'm like most insecure about on my face. And it definitely makes your lips look poutier and it sets down, like there's a waxiness to it, and that makes it really long lasting. One of my favorite lip products from Sephora is the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss. I'm gonna apply Crystal Happy Kiss because I just want something kind of clear and pinkish. I don't want it to like conflict with my yellow eyeliner. I have a whole video about these. I swatch these, I compare them to like every other lip product I have, but Crystal Happy Kiss is basically clear. And also when you turn it up, you can't twist it back down. It's one of those, so be careful with it. But oh my god, I love it. Oh my goodness. It smells like just slightly sweet and sugary, and it has this like thick texture that is so cushiony. It just feels like a layer has been added to your lips and it's not going anywhere. The only thing is that the packaging is really cheap, thin plastic. So for the price, that doesn't really reflect the experience, but I don't care because the formula is so absolutely incredible. This is my second favorite lip product of all time, behind the Glow Lip Serums. It just smooths over your lip lines. It feels like this thick butter going on your lips, and it just is deeply, deeply nourishing. I honestly rarely live without one of these in my purse. And my other favorite is Pillow Talk. So here are the two Pillow Talks, the lip liner and then the Happy Kiss. And they're just that beautiful kind of like rosy mauve brown that I just love. I somehow was able to narrow it down to just 2 more lip products and then we're done. I think that the Lawless Forget the Filler glosses are very underrated. These are high shine, like lacquer look lip glosses. They are thick, they are a little sticky, and what they do is they just smooth over the lip lines, make your lips look like glass. And that's where that kind of like forget the filler quality comes in, because it really does fill in your lip lines and make your lips look healthier and younger and better. But it's thick, so if you don't like a thick or slightly sticky lip gloss, do not get these. I'm just gonna show you what I mean though. I removed my lip liner so my lips look a little bit irritated, but what I love is they have this kind of curved applicator that's super fuzzy and it just hugs the lips beautifully. This is the shade Velvet. I think Velvet is described on their website as like a mauve, but it is not. It is very much pink. It is not nearly as dark as the website makes it sound. It's sticky, so just do that and then you're fine. And then you have this beautiful high shine finish. It's supposed to have some kind of plumping quality. I don't see my lips getting like bigger. There's just a tiny bit of a cooling effect and it smells a little bit like strawberries, which I love. And this color in particular makes me feel really like youthful and fresh. I got a mini of the shade George on the Lawless website. It's like a beige, a brownie beige, very sheer. And I believe this one now comes in a full size that you can get on Sephora, as well as like 4 or 5 other shades. Okay, well now I have to swatch the In Beauty ones because I didn't do that before. So this is number 1, Candy Apple. Much thinner than like the Lawless. It's a cross between an oil and a gloss. So much more lightweight, very much more sheer, high shine finish, juicy lip. Just a hint of a red tint. In Beauty Frosé. So fun. It's not for everyone, but I love it. With certain makeup looks, this kind of like sheer light pink frostiness I think is super, super fun. My last favorite products from Sephora are the Bobbi Brown Crushed Oil Infused Glosses. My favorite is the shade Slow Jam, which I will apply. These are less of a high shine finish like the Lawless or the In Beauty lip glazes. These, if you only apply a little bit, look almost velvety, like not matte, but not very high shine. And what that does for me is it just looks like skin. It looks like you're one with your lips. It's not like a layer of gloss or oil or something on top giving you that high shine finish. It just kind of like looks one with your lips. But you can build it up, of course. Slow Jam is just my perfect pinky brown nude. When I wear this, John always compliments me on the color, so I know that it's special. And it feels really comfortable. It's like a medium weight. It's not thin, but it's not thick, somewhere in the middle. Has a ton of different shades. It does feel a little bit balmy and nourishing and cushiony, but still lightweight. It's just a really wonderful option. And lastly, I have the shade Freestyle, a beautiful coral. I just think that these are the perfect gloss for people who don't like gloss, because they're just kind of a hybrid of all of the things. Those are all my favorite picks from Sephora. I hope that wasn't too long, but I like a lot of stuff. Stay tuned for my next video where I will be shopping the Sephora sale. I'm basically gonna add a ton of shit I'm interested in to my cart, and then I'm gonna go through kind of an anti-haul style process, eliminating as much as I can to get down to the bare essentials of what I need and what I want. So that'll be a really fun one. If you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll subscribe. I do a pretty solid mix of like new stuff and old stuff, so I'd love for you to stick around. And if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.